NATALIYA VETOSHNIKOVA is 97 years old, but both she and her memories of the siege of Leningrad remain sharp. A former tennis star, she says dreams of competing again kept her alive. But Nataliya's father and 4 other relatives starved to death.
In January, we had our last decent meal. We made a soup from furniture glue that my father had. Of course, the smell was awful. To disguise it, we used black pepper and bay leaves. Since the end of the war, no matter what I cook, I've never used either black pepper or bay leaves.
From September 1941 to January 1944, German forces and their Finnish allies surrounded Leningrad. The USSR's second city had to fend for itself. By the time Soviet troops broke the Nazi siege 75 years ago on Sunday, hunger, disease, bombs and shells had killed more than 500,000 civilians. Most are buried here in 186 mass graves at the Piskaryovskaya Memorial Cemetery. Flowers, bread and toys were some of the gifts left there by mourners on Saturday. Russian President Vladimir Putin paid his own respects there on Sunday. His older brother died in the siege. In another event, schools brought students to light candles, forming 900 on the ice of St Petersburg's waterfront. The blockade lasted nearly that number of terrible days.
The siege was a great case of heroism. We should remember and tell our children about it so they know.
My younger daughter learned in school and was amazed that we had such heroes in our country who went through such hardships. We should hold events like this to remember.
Soldiers and modern weapons paraded through the centre of the city now called St Petersburg on Sunday. In today's Russia, World War II anniversaries are frequently used to display current military might.
Although there's no widespread opposition to this, some Russians have questioned whether a parade of tanks and missiles is really the right way of honouring the ending of one of the biggest human tragedies of the Second World War.
But the Russian state thinks differently. It wants citizens and the world to believe that such a thing would never be allowed to happen again. Rory, Challands, Al Jazeera, St Petersburg, formerly Leningrad.